Before I open it up to the audience, I want to ask one more question. I like what you said very much about, revealing his death very upfront, and in a way, that death does not become sort of the be all or the punchline of the story. The death scene is so there's no spoiler danger here. It's like the death scene is handled really interestingly. There's braiding even within that, between past and present. And I know, when dealing with something, a tragedy, can you just talk about the decisions that went into kind of how you present that to the audience?
Well, we talked about it. We didn't want to show the violent act, and we didn't want to portray either one of the people involved as the one to blame. There's two people with heads full of bad substances making poor decisions in a world of people making pretty poor decisions. After that, we wanted to be careful because it's sad. It's really sad. And how do we make the moment vibrate but not make it roar? You know what I mean?
We live in a culture that is obsessed with violence, and movies love violence, and violence in real life. When you talk to Sybil Rosen, who wrote the memoir, when you talk to Gerf Morlix, who played music and was his running buddy for years, this is not like. One of the things that offends Gerf the most is people think it's kind of cool that he was shot and killed. It really, and one of the things that when he first met me. We making the movie because he got shot and killed, and it's a couple of addicts, What he needed to do was stay off drugs and alcohol. One of the things that Ryan and I have kids, and one of the things that they're becoming, young adults, and some of them are falling in love with the arts. And if you look at the history of artists, self-sabotage is way worse than the corruption of the world. If you can respect and love yourself, that's the hardest thing to do. That's the thing that screws most people up is their own. On one level, the music industry sucks and screwed Blaze Foley. On another level, he was a great and beautiful man and could have taken better care of himself. And so I wanted the movie to vibrate with that. Nobody's to blame. Like there's so much happening in the world. So many dominoes fell before that moment that made that moment happen.